Hi, this is Coralla at CorallaFicklin.com. Just go into either CorallaFicklin.com or WelcomeNetwork.com, and welcome is spelled WYLCOME network.com, and there you can be directed to our other sites that we have available, and there you will see our material on slang, idiomatic expressions, pronunciations, affixes, whether you're talking about prefixes, suffixes, roots. And then you can be directed to Pedians, PEDIANS.com, and there you can click in and you can see all the different things that I've written about language. Right now, what I'd like to talk about is slang. And I think slang or informal English. Now, there's a continuum, correct? I mean, you're talking about very formal English. We have material on very formal English, and that usually is when you're talking about prefixes and suffixes, collegiate vocabulary. So that's up here, and then it goes all the way down to the opposite end. And there you would say, and the opposite end, the very opposite end would be vulgar English. We also have a lot of cards on vulgar English. I mean, English that you really, really have to be very careful in using. I haven't made any videos on vulgar English because I don't know if I'm allowed to, because some of the words and some of the expressions are extremely vulgar. But they're part of the English language. If you are in certain areas or in certain company of certain people, it's an English that you have to know, that you have to learn. Not saying you have to use it, but you should at least be familiar with it. Right now what I want to do is slang. Now, a lot of this is American English, but you might hear a British expression or two. We have cards dealing particularly with non-American English. It's called non-American English, and we have about, I don't know how many cards, maybe about 1,000 cards dealing with that. Now, slang is one of the primary reasons. Slang or informal English and idiomatic English. Slang, informal, idiomatic English are some of the reasons why going from English to another language, or from another language to English, even though you've studied the language for 1,000 years, you don't understand. Because very rarely do they teach slang, and slang is constantly changing. Okay? Now, the slang I'm going to give you here, even though it sounds like an oxymoron, it's going to be slang that's a little bit more standard. So it's not going to change that much. Also, slang is another reason why, for example, that a lot of British English is foreign to an American, especially if you have, especially if someone is speaking to you in Cockney rhyming slang. Americans don't understand that at all, because it's slang. It's something that you normally hear on the streets. It's not something that you're normally taught in the classroom, and it's definitely not something that you're taught when you're taking English classes in school. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, this is called Slang Synonyms. Now, we have a website called Slang Synonyms, and what it is that I give you the standard word, correct? I give you the standard word, and then I'm going to give you the sentence, and then I will give you the slang synonym. Okay, here's an example. To be in love with. Right? To be in love with. Let me give you the standard word, because in the sentence I have one of the slang synonyms. Okay, so here's the standard expression: to be in love with. I'm in love with him, for example. I'm in love with him, with John, Peter, whatever. Now, the slang synonyms are, and here I have 4 of them: to be nuts about, to be wacky for, to be gone for, to have a thing for. If I have a thing for you, and it's spelled T-H-I-N-G, but the pronunciation is ang, thang, T-H-A-N-G. And don't forget, this is slang, so you have to be very careful using it. That means I like you a lot. So it's impossible to talk to her about Bill. she's nuts about him. That means she really, really likes him. She's in love with him. Okay. She's in love with him. Okay. Now when I'm looking over here, I'm looking at the cards. And each set contains about 100 cards. And you can come in and find them. Now, the word is admirable. If you're an admirable person, you're someone that I admire. Admirable. Now, here's the slang synonyms. To be the cat's meow. To be the bee's knee. That's British English. I've never heard that before. I mean, of course, after I've done it. Yes. To be the bee's knee. To be down. To be copacetic. Now, like I said, this is slang. To be gnarly. Now, I don't know if the kids still use that word gnarly. And gnarly is spelled Gnarly. To be the cat's meow. It's sort of old, but you still hear it. It says, she now considers him the cat's meow. She considers him someone that she greatly admires. Okay? I love that, to be the cat's meow. Or to be the cat's pajamas. I have no idea why it's the cat's meow or the cat's pajamas, but I like it. The word is smart, to be smart. And the slang synonyms are to be no dumbbell, to be up to speed, to have enough ducks in a row. Okay? Like I said, this is slang, so a lot of times it doesn't make any sense. All right. So if I say, she's no dumbbell, that means she's pretty smart. There's another expression that says, honey, I wasn't born yesterday. Okay? Or, what is it? My mama didn't give birth to any fool. That means I'm smart. That means, or at least I'm no one's fool. Okay? Maybe not necessarily smart, but no one's fool. Okay. My mother didn't give birth to any fool. Something to that effect. To be intelligent, which means to be smart. Means, here's some slang synonyms. To be smart as a whip. To know one's onions or stuff. To be there. If you're there, that means you know what's going on. Be careful with your lies. He is as smart as a whip. Now, I didn't know a whip was smart, but he's smart as a whip. Okay? And these expressions, I think every English speaker would know. Native speaker. Well, not native or non-native speaker, but if you know the language. To be an addict. Addict is ADDICT. To be an addict. Now, you probably heard this. To be a junkie. To be an A-head. A. The letter A, head. To be an acid head. To be a user. To be a goofball. Or to be a drug head. It's simple. You can't trust a junkie. Okay? A junkie. Someone who's an addict. Someone who's a junkie. You can't trust him. Let me give you another one. Okay. Let me see. To bribe someone. That is to try to give someone money in order to keep that person quiet. To take care of. To buy off. To make a deal. Or to sweeten the pot. I took care of him. He knows who his friends are. That means I bribed him. I said, listen, let me give you a couple $100. Keep your mouth shut. Or you says, tell me, how can I sweeten the pot so that you won't say anything? All right? To be indifferent, that is not to get involved. And you say, well, listen, I have no dog in that fight, so whatever happens, happens. So it's to have no dog in the fight, to not care one way or the other. I don't have a dog in the fight, so it really doesn't matter to me. Whatever you do is fine. It doesn't matter to me. That means I'm indifferent. Okay. That one has a little bit of cursing that you can come down and get the cards. All right. To no longer be young. So you're no longer young. So you're no longer a spring chicken, or you've been around the block a few times, or you've been around the block a couple times. I'm no longer a spring chicken. I would look ridiculous at a rock concert. So you can come in, corralaficklin.com, and you can download as many cards as you would like.